Akaroa Salmon was awarded 4 gold medals and a champion in the water category in the 2024 Outstanding Food Producer Awards. It's fitting recognition for Duncan Bates and his parents, who began the company in 1985. Today, Akaroa Salmon is 100% New Zealand owned, with its own hatchery in North Canterbury and a new processing plant and retail outlet in Wigram. It also aims to have one of the smallest environmental footprints of any ocean salmon farm in the world. General Manager Willie Manuel shows us around.
We're probably farming over roughly 2 10-acre paddocks, and that'll produce 1,000 tonne of salmon, and Akaroa Salmon employs roughly 80 people from that. We've roughly got 18 pens. They all hold up to 30,000 4-kilo fish, which is 120 tonne of fish. But if they're baby fish, they might hold 200,000. So it all varies, and a lot of it determines like the biomass, if we have to split them down, if they're getting too cramped. Our smolt, they come from our hatchery, which is in Waio, and they'll get raised there until they reach about 70 grams, and then they'll come on a tanker. They'll be pumped out of the tanker into one of our pens, which we'll push out here with the tide flowing out. From there, we'll transfer them into one of our big circles, and then it'll take roughly from, say, a 70-gram smolt to a 4-kilo salmon, about 18 months till we harvest them. The feed comes from Tasmania. It's an extruded pellet. It primarily consists of fish meal from a sustainable source, like we'll use fish frames and fish heads in there, and also we'll use an algae oil, and then it's all bound together with plant-based proteins. There's no GM or antibiotics in our food. Feed's obviously our biggest cost. We probably feed out somewhere in the range of 6-7 tonnes of feed a day to our salmon. Salmon are the most efficient converters of food. They'll convert 1.7 kilograms of food to 1 kilo of weight. So they're very fast at converting. And then we have cameras that monitor any feed wastage. So yeah, it's very important how we feed, not to waste pellets for the environment as well as the cost to the farmer. It's a year-round operation, so we harvest Sundays through to Thursdays. There's always some on the farm. We've got a dedicated crew maintaining the moorings, which is a vital role of our farm, keeping the farm there. And then we've got a couple of net cleaners. They have what you call an ROV, which is basically like a robot that will clean our nets, and then it'll inspect them for holes. If there's any holes, then we'll send our dive crew down to fix the holes. Yeah, and then just general R&M, like servicing motors and boats and cranes. That's just continuous. The sea's pretty unforgiving, so that doesn't stop. No, they're taking this net off, and then we're going to put a new net on for our smolt entry in April. Yeah,
for a long time, Mum, Dad and myself, we 100% owned the business. And then Mum and Dad wanted to exit, and they exited in 2011, and they sold their shareholding, which was 60%. So now I've got 2 iwi partners and an investment structure from Auckland as my partners, and that seems to be going pretty well. In about 2015, I started to realise that our old processing factory in Pope Street was no longer sort of fit for purpose for what we're doing, and so I started to plan a new processing factory, and we're in Treffers Road in Christchurch, and this was completed in 2019. This encompasses an administration block, a processing area, a lot of storage out the back in the drive-through, and a retail shop. It's something that we're pretty proud of. From a regional perspective for Akaroa Harbour Basin, it's really important. Not only employing local staff, looking for opportunities with graduates out of the local high school over there. The Akaroa High School runs a gateway program, and we take on 2 or 3 of those young men usually through that program. So that's really important. The other important thing over there is we like to use local contractors when we can. So that's just sort of become policy really for us. If we can use local, employ local, then that's what we do. If we have an impact on the environment, all operations do in one way or another. That environment is very important to me. For a number of years we operated without ever being able to quantify the impact we were having on the benthic, on the harbour floor. other than what we could see. This benthic monitoring program was introduced to me probably 15 years ago, and I immediately saw the benefit of quantifying and measuring in a scientific way the impact we were having on the benthic, on the sediments. And so we've been doing that now for close on 15 years. So our aspiration, we believe we can go to 1,500 tonne per annum. That's a green weight number. Net weight, gilled and gutted, that's around about 1,200 tonne. But we believe that if we continue to manage our benthic like we are, we can go to 1,500 tonne. The challenge around that will be to do that without having any significant impact on other stakeholders in the harbour, and there are a number of them. So I don't want to be impacting on the tourist industry or other people that, recreational users that enjoy, that wonderful harbour that we work and play in.